Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to
On Stage with Dance Alive.
Hi, my name is Emily.
I am Jessie Dominguez.
And we are so excited to welcome you back. Another Monday. How are you today, Jessie?
I am fine. How are you?
I am doing good. We are so excited that you are joining us. We have a special guest with us today.
Oh, yes.
I'm excited to have him here. But before we get into that, we'd like to first start by thanking our sponsors, Alliance Credit Union, Yvette Godet Dentistry, Poe Falls Dance Studio, and of course, Fiesta Media, where we are today, taping and enjoying all that.
Yeah.
I know last week Poe Falls Studios started back their classes. How did that go? I know
that
you're
was
teaching.
awesome. Yeah, the kids were exciting.
Yeah.
I was also excited to start. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and I know there are still some spots available in some of those classes. So if you are interested, be sure to call them or check out their website and get those little ones signed up. Or adult classes are available too, and you teach.
Yeah, I teach the adult class.
ballet?
Yeah, the beginners on
so
Wednesday, 6:30.
6:30. Be there. Come see her in person. It's like a celebrity.
Oh yeah.
So we are really excited because actually on Wednesday, next Wednesday, September 1st, the season starts officially for the company dancers. So
I am very excited with that.
yeah, the company will come back. So we'll have a lot to talk about behind the curtain. But this week, behind the curtain, we're going to ask you, we're continuing to introduce some of the dancers. So this week we have an exciting dancer to introduce. Jessie, I'm going to let you introduce her.
Yeah, we have Rachel this week. Rachel, this is pretty interesting because Rachel is born and raised in Gainesville.
Right.
And she is a student with the school for her whole life. So it's interesting for me because it's the real develop of a dancer.
Born and raised,
exactly,
right.
Born and raised here in Gainesville. So I just have to say that I love her a lot. She's a beautiful dancer, and we have a little video.
Yeah,
like
let's take
every Monday.
Yeah, let's take a look at Rachel. Yay, that is so nice. And Rachel, not only being from here, so Judy and Kim really taught her and, groomed her. So a lot of times dance companies, people come to a dance company like you. So you grew up dancing somewhere else, and you came to Dance Alive. Rachel really, grew up here and then, joined Dance Alive that way, which is really special. But Rachel also, while being a company member, earned her degree, and she's also a speech pathologist.
That's right.
So she also has another career outside of dance, which is just spectacular. Within itself,
and she also teaches for the students.
And she also teaches as well. So she wears many hats, which is phenomenal. So we are so lucky to have Rachel, and I know that she makes everybody proud. So we are excited to have Rachel a part. She'll be joining us this season as well for Dance Alive. So excited to start the season. I know next Monday we'll be getting closer.
I am getting ready.
We will hear more about that. But I think it is time that we introduce our guest. I'm going to give you the honors, Jessie.
Yes, thank you so much. I am very happy to have today RUSSELL ETLING.
Yay!
Great to be here. Thank you.
Well, RUSSELL, let's start with our first question. Tell us about yourself, your story, where you're from, all that.
Well, I kind of come a long way, but it's always been a kind of a continuous path. I always like to say entertaining, educating, and inspiring audiences. I saw my first play when I was 5, and I said I didn't want to do anything else other than that. So I did summer stock all the way through elementary school, junior high school, went to a high school with a specialized program in film, video, and theater, and then went on to the University of Miami to get a theater management degree. I thought I wanted to be an actor, but I was a terrible actor. I was saying earlier, my last resume was last review was that he was an amusing Mr. Cellophane, but dancing was hardly his strong point. So I don't think we have any competition, Jesse. But I went on to be a production coordinator, stage manager. I worked for Disney and did industrial shows, and then had a company of my own in Miami.
Wow.
And we did a number of things, including 4 years as a production manager for the singer Perry Como's concert tours around the country. He was a contemporary of Frank Sinatra and just a beautiful man.
Yeah.
And a
Yes.
fabulous, fabulous artist. And then I took a consulting job for 6 months as the interim director of the Science Museum in Miami, because they'd approached our company to find someone and we couldn't find the right person. So I said, I'll just do that for 6 months. And I wound up staying 14 years
Wow.
as the chief
my
executive
gosh.
officer of the institution, and really loved it. But my career took this left turn from entertainment to museums. And then following that, I spent 10 years creating and traveling an exhibition of art and artifacts that belonged to Napoleon and his imperial court, big collection from Paris. And my father was a Napoleon buff, so it had been our dream to
Wow.
mount a major exhibition. So wound up getting the opportunity to do that. And the artifacts were only allowed to be out of France for 6 years. So at the end of that tour, I was able to come up here to Gainesville to care for my dad and my mom, who were getting older at the time, and got just so lucky to get a job with the city of Gainesville coordinating cultural affairs for the city. And
That's
I've been there
fantastic.
almost 10 years now.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
It's an incredible job because it combines all the things I've done in my life. It's live entertainment, it's art. We have beautiful art galleries,
Right.
and it's history. We manage several historic sites, including the historic Thomas Center Evergreen Cemetery, which is the 164-year-old municipal cemetery here in Gainesville, which is a beautiful, beautiful place. And working with administration and producing events and working with government. So it's all the things I've done in my past, and now I have the opportunity to continue that goal of entertaining, educating, and inspiring audiences on a scale and in a community I love very much.
Wow,
No,
that's fantastic.
that is
Your
so
background.
interesting. I love that. I mean, I was so interested to read your bio that you sent us,
Yeah.
because I mean, it just talk about so many different things that you've done. I would really love to hear more. I think something that you don't hear every day. I mean, a lot of things that you said you don't hear every day, but I think hearing about touring an art exhibit, one, and then you add in Napoleon's art. I mean, I can't even imagine. Could you talk just a little bit more? Like, I just think, what are there? I can't even imagine the logistical things. And where did you go? I mean, you were going to, and how long were you in places? I mean, it was just, I'm sure there were some things about that were just out of this world, really.
Well, it was an enormous collection. It was 67 hung artworks,
Wow.
and 51 cases full of artifacts.
Oh my
everything
gosh.
from one of his famous hats to the bed he slept on in the Battle of Wagram to there was one point we had the map he took with him to Russia, and in the map you could see the pinholes where he had
Oh my
stuck
goodness.
little things. And I was standing right there, and I said, "Oh my goodness, I'm standing right where."
Yeah, like what a
Napoleon-
reality! Like,
Now he accomplished an amazing amount in 19 years, but we always say he was revered and reviled. He was
Right.
not a perfect person.
No.
But what we hope to do with this amazing private collection that we had was to talk about him as a man and how he developed into the person he was. He was truly a self-made man, and bring these artifacts and paintings to life providing context to see who he was as a person, and to allow people to see a little bit of the humanity through the veil of history. So it was a great opportunity, but it's every single thing I've been so privileged to touch in my life has provided some sort of inspiration and thrill to me personally, and I've been also blessed to be able to translate that to the audience.
Wow.
And then the thing I've gotten a great opportunity to do here in Gainesville as well is to support other arts organizations, and that's how I got involved with Dance Alive. Dance Alive is one of the major organizations that the city funds.
That was my next question, exactly. You read my mind, because I have been here for 5 years. We know each other for the same amount of time.
And backstage.
Yeah, right, there we are, no cracker. And I was always interested in how do you get involved with Dance Alive? And in your personal opinion, how do you think this company is going, and if you have seen the Dance Alive growing in some point?
Well, I worked in the San Francisco Bay Area for a few years, and we had wonderful companies. We had the Joffrey Ballet, the New York City Ballet, the Alvin Ailey Dance Company come through every year, and the American Ballet Theater. And I didn't really know much about ballet. I'd been to a few ballets in my life, but so the way I tried to learn was I would buy tickets to every performance of when the companies would come to town, and I really gave myself a kind of a general knowledge of the art form and all its different levels. So when I moved to Gainesville, I'd been most of my life in Miami. I said I didn't think that there would be something of the caliber of Dance Alive here. And the first performance I saw, I just was blown away by. It was a world-class company here in a smaller town, though it was a world-class company that did travel around our country and sometimes internationally. So that's how I got to know the quality of the company, and then I was so privileged to get to know some of the dancers. And one of the greatest things is those few opportunities I've had to come and watch some of the rehearsals. You know,
Right.
One doesn't understand if you haven't been to a rehearsal the amazing athleticism of it and the strength and ferocity it takes to maintain this graceful position that when you're sitting in the audience, it looks like a feather.
Looks effortless, right? And I think seeing Kim and Judy work and seeing that, behind the scenes of not only the dancers working and what they make look effortless, but seeing it close up, but then also seeing the creative process of, whether it's, Kim choreographing or Judy or maybe another choreographer or, leading like that. That's a really...
And also Kim especially have like this skill that she's pretty good casting. So we always get cast in the correct role, and that makes you feel comfortable. And I am glad that you mentioned that Dance Alive is a war company, because that was exactly how I feel the first day that I came here. I remember I take the audition in 2016, and I can't believe it. I was like, this is such a small town, and I was on the studio with such an amazing dancers around me. Like I was never imagined that in my life. So I'm glad that you mentioned it too.
Having spent most of my life with music, working almost every job I've had has been focused with music. Another part of what Dance Alive does is takes beautiful orchestral pieces and edits them together, and then the fact that the shows that they create, Phantom, or have all our original productions that have been constructed and choreographed by this Kim and Judy, who are just treasures that this community should will always be grateful to have had working with us. So all in all, I can't praise the company enough, and I'm looking forward to this season. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, and I think the world class, and we're so appreciative of all your support that you provide us, and being someone in our corner that is always there to speak so positive of us and all that. But you wear a lot of hats as you in your role, and I think Gainesville, Dance Alive has this world class, but I think it is side to side with some amazing other artists that you bring to Gainesville through your arts festival. And I think I'd love for you to talk about what you all are doing. I mean, we're alongside you in that, but what's happening in your world? I mean, what's happening in, what they say, in your neck of the woods?
Well, one of the great things about the city is it's very varied, and it is continuous. And even in spite of the time when we were in COVID, which we were able to produce many things.
Right.
We had several 100,000 views on our online concerts. We did 67 online concerts.
Amazing.
Wow.
We produced, I think, something like 14 murals in the city during that time. But now we're phasing back in. And so every Friday night we have our Free Fridays concert at Bodilli Plaza. But those concerts are also streamed on the Free Fridays Facebook page.
Great.
So we have some like 4 times as many people watching the stream as in the audience, and that's good because it allows it to be safer. We have amazing programming that we've been doing the last few months at our Aquin Jones Museum and Cultural Center, which is in the home of the great civil rights leader and educator, Professor Aquin Jones. But we have 3 different series we're doing there. We're doing a concert series, a lecture series, and a book talk series.
Nice.
And so you can go to both the Facebook page for Aquin Jones Museum and Free Fridays to see that programming. And then at the Historic Thomas Center, we have 3 galleries. And so we've opened a beautiful exhibit of an artist named Aileen Harris. The city got fortunate to acquire a huge collection of her work.
Wonderful.
And so we have 200 of her paintings on display now. She's a local folk artist and extraordinary storyteller, both of her life growing up in kind of rural Greenville, but also of her deep spiritual life. So there's half of the paintings are about biblical stories, and this amazing imagination she has to translate those stories into canvas. We have an exhibition of a late artist named Eddie Muma, who lived in Gainesville, whose work was never seen for many, many years, and owned by a collector who had purchased many of his works when he died, when nobody else had the work. And so we were the first to present a single solo show of his work, and within a year that work had gone in the Smithsonian Museum and the Walton Art Museum and the High Museum. So that collector gave us nearly 70 of his paintings.
Amazing.
And those are on display now. And then we have coming up on the 6th and 7th of November our Downtown Festival and Art Show, which is another thing that brings not only visual art but music and some great food to the streets of Gainesville. So
Downtown Art Festival is fantastic. It's a great show.
And for many years we've had your mom's fabulous naive art on display there.
Yes.
So,
and I remember the first time that I saw the Downtown Art Show, it was impressive because, one more time, this is not a small town. You never imagined that this is going to happen here. And the streets were full of art, such a beautiful thing. And the community also responds so well to the festival. They really support the artists. They really support the local business that are around. So I'm waiting for that this year.
I must say that we're encouraging people to practice COVID guidelines, to wear a mask. The artists will have the opportunity to limit the number of people in their booth.
Right.
We'll have hand sanitation stations, a lot of things around there. And we try to encourage it for any indoor events, people to wear masks and the like. So we try to be cautious at the same time to meet the demand that the community wants for
Right.
art in a safe and
Right. Yeah.
Last year was a virtual show. I remember.
We did a virtual art festival or downtown festival and the Hogtown Medieval Fair,
Right.
Yeah.
which comes up in the end of January.
Right,
which
in the
we'll
end
hear
of
about
January, yeah.
Oh, I love that too.
I know,
the
that one's
medieval
really
is so fun.
And I think those are all those things that I don't know that everybody really realizes, that all those different entities fall all under the city of Gainesville and you.
There it
I
is.
mean, really, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. And then somehow with all of those things, you still find a way to always come to our performances and all these other things in Gainesville that you support, which is...
Well, that's the icing on the cake for me to but not only Dance Alive, but the Gainesville Orchestra,
Right,
the
yeah.
Hippodrome,
The Hippodrome and...
Actors Warehouse. There's so many.
Yeah.
And I try to do as many things as I
Yeah.
can. There's the thing I found out when I came from Miami. It's like, oh, this little sleepy town, and there's not time enough to do every
Yeah.
single
That's
thing
right.
that's out there.
No, and that's actually was going to be mine. Oh, there's you with Linda.
There's you with Linda. That's right.
That was going to be my next question. Actually, was it? I was
And
going
my
to.
friend Randy
Randy.
Batista.
I was going to ask you about, coming from Miami to Gainesville, and you kind of said it. There's sometimes an assumption of this sleepy town, or there's nothing happening. I mean, what do you think? And as you've been here over 10 years, you say the biggest growth or difference you've seen in Gainesville in comparison, maybe to what you've thought of Miami that you've seen in Gainesville in the past 10 years.
Well, there's an increasing with all organizations, and that's ever should be. Just the quality just keeps getting better and better and better. One of the things that we were very active in was the 352 Walls, which was the mural project, urban art project, which we were a part of facilitating in the beginning, bringing in both global artists to town, and then starting to foster community artists to start painting murals. And what's happened since we started 5 years ago is we have nearly 40 global artist murals, and we have over 100 community artist murals that we alone have facilitated, not to mention all the other murals that other mural producers have put together. So the great thing about walking around downtown Gainesville, or now walking around all through Gainesville, is you can't turn a corner without seeing something.
Right.
That's
You can't go any part of town, or to walk into a Miapa restaurant and see
That's
a mural.
Right, yeah. No, I know.
one
It's
of our
amazing.
community
Art is really filling the community.
Jesus and Carrie Martinez, who paint through their fan visionary art enterprise, have done over 70 murals here in Gainesville.
And they're beautiful. They're just beautiful. And they're all so different. They're really all so unique, which I think is so special.
And one of the things that we care a lot about is also ending racial disparities we have in our community through art, and that's a big focus of where the city is heading and where our cultural affairs division is. How can we use the arts to really bring everybody into the community and feel welcome? So we want to try to have programs to mentor young artists, to think about muralism as a possible art form, and to take our art projects and products further out into the community. We're kind of downtown centric, I would say, in a way, but it's important for us to continue to reach out and into the East Side and Spring Hill and Sugar Hill and Porters, and so we're really interested in how, in the years to come, can we build better relationships and bring more people together in this community of this Gaines Village.
Right.
Yeah, and that's lovely. That's lovely. Me as part of the community, I really appreciate it. I came to this town, I pretend to stay here, so I am involved in the community, and I appreciate the art walls a lot. I love it. I believe we have it in our agenda to have some pictures.
We want to get some
we want to get some photos.
And we just love it.
Yeah.
So, no, and I think that's great. So the best way for all of our people watching to find out is to follow on Facebook, right? For
you could follow a number of different. We have
Okay.
Facebook sites for all our
things.
big things: Downtown Festival, Hogtown Medieval Fair, Free Fridays, and then Historic Thomas Center.
Yes, if you have not been, you should. It's beautiful. It
And
really
you
It is.
need to see these new exhibitions.
Yeah,
we have. Are really
sounds really.
fantastic.
I put it on my list.
And I'll say one last thing, that Art Walk Night is having the first Art Walk since the COVID
Oh, great.
on
That's
September
great.
24th. So
Okay.
we'll have the Thomas Center. Those exhibitions will be open from 6 to 9. And then we have another space called the 352 Art Space at the Rosa B. Williams Center, which you've taught a
Yeah.
dance class there. And we have a wonderful exhibition by an Ethiopian artist named Prince Mary Tanasi, who is a direct descendant from the House of Sheba and Solomon.
Wow.
He's one of the great Ethiopian charcoal artists. And so his work will be on display from 6 to 9 at 352 Art Space on Art Walk Night. And then through the weekend, the Aquin Jones Museum, on that Saturday, is doing a special program that talks about this kind of diaspora between Africa and United States and the world. So it's lots happening in that. You can find out through the Aquin Jones
Wonderful.
website.
We'll definitely follow those, like those, and all of that. And we have, before you go, we have a trivia question for
yes.
you.
Oh, no.
We'll see.
We want to see. We have a photo
Yeah.
for you. Okay, so here's the photo. We want to see if you know what ballet this photo is from first.
Could it be? Is it Phantom? No.
It's not Phantom. It's a very classic ballet.
Yeah.
It's also a very classic piece of Shakespeare.
Uh-huh.
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Not Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, no.
She have a cape. He have a cape, and he dies at the end.
Yes, and there's a girl.
Could be not. Well, I don't. Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen that one. So.
Okay, and then
But I will say it's Felipe, who is
Oh,
like
he
an
is.
incredible.
He is
Hey.
a
Incredible
phenomenal dancer. And
Yeah.
then we'll see. You can just guess at this one because I don't know the answer to this one either. Do you know what year Romeo and Juliet, the ballet, premiered? Any guesses for what year? Not
at Dance
our.
Alive?
No, not at Dance Alive. Just the
Global.
original ballet of Romeo and Juliet. What year that might have premiered?
Can't tell you, but I will tell you that I saw it in London with Makrova.
Wow.
Oh, and how was that?
Wow.
I was going to say, that's a pretty good one. It was 1938.
Wow.
That was a hard one. But that was, yes, you got the dancer right. It's Felipe, one of our principals, who is a phenomenal dancer. So, well, Russell, we cannot thank you enough for joining us today on
Thank
our
you,
podcast.
thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank
I love
you
it.
so much, and thank you so much for supporting us and all that you do. And
Yes.
please check out all those amazing things that the city offers because they're phenomenal, and there's so many wonderful things. So thank you.
But we're
Thank
here
you.
for the community and
Yes.
to make your stretch your tax dollars. in a
Yes,
good way.
yes, and we're so thankful. So we are so excited. We officially launched our season announcement on Friday. We are here. We have all of our events up on Facebook, so please find them and RSVP and like and share. We have some great events happening. We have Meet the Dancers in Ocala, which
Yeah.
is the first time we're doing that, which will be Friday, September 24th. Then we have Meet the Dancers here in
October
Gainesville,
1st.
which is at the Cade, which is Friday, October 1st. Get tickets for that on www.dancealive.org.
The program is going to be
It's going to be
fantastic.
amazing. It's an event. It's going to have the one in Gainesville has a live auction. It has a performance, and it is going to be the place where you can bid on amazing things like ringside tables for our Champagne
Champagne
Gala,
Gala.
Dancing with the Stars. You can bid to be Mother Ginger on stage. You can bid and get some amazing things and see the dancers. And
So
it's
you don't want to miss it.
you don't want to miss it. You can also now get all of our tickets for our season. So Nutcracker tickets are on sale. Phantom tickets are on sale. All of them. So don't hesitate. Get them now. And we will be seeing you next week. We do want to thank our sponsors one more time because we wouldn't be here without you. We have so many great sponsors for Dance Alive. But sponsors for this podcast are Alliance Credit Union, Yaveco Day Dentistry, Pofall Studios, and then, of course, Fiesta
Fiesta Media.
Media Productions, where we're here today. And thank you so much to our guest. And Jesse? Thank you for being here with me.
Thank you.
And we will see you next week. We have another great guest, and we cannot wait. And this is On Stage with Dance Alive. Bye.